is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
The Filipino American Cancer Care now brings you On the Air with FACC, tributes and support to those impacted by cancer. On the Air with FACC, the Filipino American Cancer Care on PHLV Radio.
Yes, we're live from Las Vegas, pero nandito ako sa Virginia. Welcome sa ating programang On the Air with FACC, Filipino American Cancer Care, here on PHLV Radio. My name is Josie Moralidad Zayman, and tonight it's November 26, 2021. Thank you so much sa ating station manager, Johan from Las Vegas, for being with us every night. Hindi ako sanay na nakatingin sa isang green light sa harap ng aking computer. But anyway, again, we would like to greet everyone. Happy Thanksgiving galing po sa Filipino American Cancer Care. And syempre, I would like to introduce to all of you ang nagbabalik. Yung isa absent, ha? Akala niya kasi recorded tayo ngayon. Emerich, happy anniversary. Happy Thanksgiving. Halatang walang tulog, ano? Anyway, we would like to welcome back Ed Logan. Hi, Ed.
Hey Josie, hi everyone. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving and eating their leftovers, right? And really spending quality time with their loved ones. So
Tingnan niyo naman si Ed, ha? Ano, fresh na fresh, 'di ba?
Oh, nga.
Ano yan parang guwaping sa That's Entertainment. Pwede na siya, 'di ba? Pwede na siya pang That's Entertainment. Anyway, we would like to welcome our special co-host tonight, one of our officers sa Filipino American Cancer Care. We would like to welcome Jan Andrada. Hi, Jan.
Hi, good evening everyone. Good evening Josie and good evening Ed. Kumusta kayo?
Ang ganda talaga ng zoom effect mo.
Diba? Iba talagang nagagawa ng technology.
At saka ang ganda ng pag-filter.
in the background helps make life.
Yeah. Tapos pinopromote niya yung libro ko sa likod niya.
Siyempre, ayan.
Talagang ang galing naman. Now, habang inaantay natin yung ating isang bisita na siguro ay nagdi-dinner pa, we would like to welcome, or sinong magpapakilala? Si Ed, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Ed, would you please, or bago muna yan Ed before you introduce our special guest, I would like to say happy birthday to Cancer Warrior, living proof and supporter ng Filipino American Cancer Care, Rita Thorne. At nag-grace siya ngayon ng funds para sa Filipino American Cancer Care. Thank you so much, Rita, for supporting FACC, and thank you for watching us tonight. Happy birthday. Okay, Ed?
Sure. It's my honor to introduce a friend, a sister in Christ. Odessa Tata Habana is one of the New York's most sought after sopranos. Dubbed as the songbird of her avid listeners, she is no stranger to the world of classical music. She started singing in public at the age of 4 and began singing professionally at age 13, where she graced various prestigious events in Canada, Philippines, and in the US, including the Lincoln Center and the famed Carnegie Hall in New York City. And she's always booked to sing to different stages in different states. And case study in Canada, where she took up mass communications, major in journalism, and minor in Italian language. Wow. Her writing is inarguably remarkable, but fate stated to choose a different career path for Kay. To this day, music and singing consort her everywhere she goes, happy and content with what she's achieved in singing career. Kay simply hopes to be able to coach or train young kids who wish to develop their path in singing, and especially those who have no means to pay for professional voice in terms of the cultivating their talents. Please welcome Kay Habana Tata.
Thank
Hello,
you.
Kay. Oh, tingnan nyo naman, naka-makeup.
Thank you for the thank you for the kind intro, Kuya Ed. Good evening, Ate Josie. Good evening, Ate Jan, and Johan from Las Vegas. And good evening to our listeners.
Okay. And gusto nating ipaalam sa lahat. We would like to inform everybody that Odessa, Tata Habana is going to be one of the special performers. Okay? Epekto yan ng Turkey.
Correct.
Now, yes. She's going to be one of the performers for the FACC Christmas Caroling, Christmas Carol Music for a Cause. Okay. Would you like to say something about this upcoming event?
Yes, well, it's such a privilege and such an honor to have been invited again in Virginia, or the DMV area, as we call it. It's funny because I didn't know it's called the DMV area until after I left Virginia last month. So, yeah, something I learned.
And you figure out.
And I figured out, I said DMV. Oh, okay, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So yes, going back, I'm very happy to have been invited again because it's been a while since I last sang to the public. The very recent one was in Virginia as well with FACC just last month. That was a successful show. So again, congratulations to the organization.
How was your experience during the FACC Couture Carriage for a Cure?
Well, I think I've said this many times. It was nerve-wracking. It was stressful just because I was sick. I was very sick. And to be singing in front of a lot of people, and you don't have your vocal cords, you don't have your instrument 100% ready and set to go, is not fun. You want to be able to give your best to the audience, to a paying audience, because you respect their time, you respect their sources, and it's not like you just call people and they come to you 10 minutes after they're there. These are people who book their time, who calendar their schedules, and come out of different states just to be there. So it was nerve-wracking, but it was a successful event, and we did it for a cause. So that's something that I'm very, very grateful for.
A lot of people did not know, no? Nang time na yon na kumanta kayo ng opening prayer, di ba? I have that special request supposed to be yung kanta na How Great Thou Art.
How Great Thou Art,
Then last minute, you had some changes. But actually, you were able to sing it na talagang perfect ang dating with the help of your son.
With the help of Kyle, yes. It's nice to have that rapport with someone, with a co-performer, but this time it was my son. And of course, I've been used to singing with Kyle ever since he was much younger. And he's not shy at all. So it's fun to sing with him because of that. And it's something that he knows by heart because we've been singing it since he was, I think, 4 or 5 years old. So it's something that I can just ask him to do, out of nowhere. So at that time, yes, Kuya Ed did request me to sing How Great Thou Art, but I couldn't find a track that, would support the range that I wanted. Yeah, so I chose the Lord's Prayer. And then I said, no, I can't do this, with my vocal condition at the time. And so I said, Kyle, you have to help me. And so, hence.
Remember, Tata, almost going to be a year when you guys perform in our Christmas caroling, Josie. Can you imagine
Yes.
that? That was
that's right.
another not new to FACC, but having seen you guys in person, like
Yes.
two of you guys singing together, made an impact to the audience. Because I think sometimes, technology will really, but being in person makes a big difference. And then your, tatayo ang balahibo, sabi nila sa Tagalog.
May
And that's
goosebump.
what it happened. It touches not just, but also our core of our heart. And that's why I think I saw Josie a little cry, the
Yes.
impossible dream. And that
Well,
was
even from the
really-
beginning, sa opening prayer, kasi ako talaga, pag nakikinig ako ng mga songs sa simbahan, para bang the Holy Spirit, yung
Yes.
nararamdaman mo, di ba?
Yeah. You're
And it really
overcome with the
it
Holy
really
Spirit.
touched
Yeah.
my heart, yes.
Yeah, it was a great experience being right there in front of these people, and it was live. It's not a virtual show anymore. It's not a virtual concert, and we've been looking forward to perform live after the pandemic. So it's nice to have that personal touch with the audience.
Okay.
And thank you for having allowed me to sing a prayer song. I think that's one of my ultimate goals in my music career, just to be able to sing songs that are pleasing to God. I'm not going to shy away from saying that. That's really my main goal. What is music what is my talent if I can't use it for God's glory? So again, thank you.
Well, I'm hoping that you will sing that song, How Great Thou Art, right? Now, anyway, I'm sorry. We have another special guest tonight, and John Andrada is going to introduce him. John?
Okay, so our next person that we interviewed is Dr. Joel Sebag. He is an inspirational pianist, a musician, and a concert producer. He is also a doctor of physical therapy. Dr. Sebag is the president of the Spine and Sports Rehab based in Arkansas, and he's also the president of Tommy Sebag Foundation. He has been serving in various nonprofit and community outreach organizations with doing medical missions such as the Bantay Bata, and also provides support for Team Tibo Cure Hospital Rehab Program. He was recognized as Henny Lopez Bayaning Pilipino of ABS-CBN awardee in 2004 and is a distinguished alumni awardee during the Cebu Doctors University's 25th founding anniversary and a recipient of Filipino American awardee in Chicago Hall of Fame 2018. Friends, let's welcome Dr. Joel Sebag.
Hello, Dr. Joel Sebag. Would you
Sebag.
like us to call you Doctor or Joel na lang? Ano, nakamute ka. Nakamute ka.
Okay, ganyan. All right.
Ano, Doctor ba o Joel lang?
Joel na lang.
Alam mo, napaka-cool ni Joel, ha? Nasa ano kaya yata? Nasa gym?
Naghihintay ako tapos
Burn that turkey.
Right.
So Joel, how was your Thanksgiving? Bakit
Oh,
nangyari
it was-
ito sa akin ngayon?
one, we have friends and family. We get together. Like we have different, like there's different couples like from different area or cities, and we just gathered together and nagpaklak. So yun lang. Masaya na.
Mhm. Magkakilala na ba kayong dalawa ni Tata?
Hindi pa. So first time to siya na we collaborate with the music. So we've been talking about like doing a show before. So ito talagang nagkatotoo na. So we're so excited because we share the same interest sa music na kinakanta niya. So inspirational music. In fact, she said How Great Thou Art was her favorite song, and that's I played that song a lot.
Nako. So December 10, yan ang aking
December 10,
talaga.
guys. Whoever
Yes.
listening to our show, don't forget, December 10, we have 3 cancer beneficiaries that will receive financial assistance. And I know, Josie, you said that, Christmas is close and we're gonna be, sharing our blessings for those who really needed most at this moment. And I know that's the spirit of the Christmas celebration. So that's why
Yes.
thank you for your time, Joel and Tata, for giving your talents to the community, and of course Alan and the rest of the team who will be featuring. And I think Josie, you have one cool addition to the team. Who is this beauty queen?
Yes, we are going to have a guest of honor, and she is actually a childhood cancer survivor. Walang iba kundi si Miss Earth Cuba, Cynthia Linit Lau. And our MC here, syempre si Emmy Rich, and the spokesperson at the Pentagon and Navy Commander, breast cancer warrior, Jessica McNulty. That's going to be on December 10. Yung ticket natin is only $20. Alam nyo ba, kaninang umaga, ang aga-aga kong umalis, ha? I went to bed like 2 o'clock and woke up like 7 o'clock. Pero hindi pa straight yung tulog. I was able to sell yung 300 tickets. Na? And tomorrow, I'm going to an event somewhere here in Fairfax, and I'm gonna sell more. Yung mother pa lang ni Alan, kumuha na. Si Ate Lulu,
30.
Chan, kumuha ng 50.
50 na? Wow.
Oo, sabi niya
Yesterday, it
sa akin.
was 30.
Yes, ngayon naman, naging 50. Baka pag dumating kayo, maging ano na yan, 100. O, diba?
Sana.
Yes. And our ticket is only $20. But at the same time, we are encouraging everyone to please make a donation para po sa FACC. Now, Ed, do you have questions?
Yes, we're gonna start this first question. So I know, Joel, you've been impacted personally with your brother's passing about cancer. So why is this event that's coming on December 10th, special to you?
Yes, it's very special. As you have said, like my brother had cancer, and when I visited him, he's in Australia. That's where he was from, and I stayed with him in the hospital. Music was really a big thing for him because that helps him to calm down, and he was able to, think about the future like that. When I played some music, it gave him more input and more uplifting in his life, that anytime God can take his life away, and it just give him peace. And I use music for my patients, for people with cancer. It just helps them. It helps them to boost their strength and peace in mind. And there's just something that music that connects the people.
Yeah, and that's back with science too, Dr. Joel Siva, because that scientifically had been.
That's actually true. That
Yeah.
is very true. Kasi music is also a form of healing.
Yes.
Yes. How about you, Tata? How important para sa iyo ang musika?
In terms of in relation to the cause that we're doing, right? Well, to say that music is important to me is an understatement. But in relation to what we're doing on December 10th, I think I've shared this with you before, Ate Josie, the very first time or the second time we spoke on the phone, and you talked about, at the time it was just a baby of yours, the organization FACC was just a concept, and you were just planning towards realizing the organization. So I did mention before that a lot in my family have been stricken with cancer. So I've lived with cancer ever since I was a kid. I remember very well going to it. It was a happy childhood back in Guimaras. We lived very simply, in the sense that, it's school during the weekdays, and then we go to church. On the weekends, it's church for us, choir practice, prayer meeting, cottage prayer meeting, and then church on Sundays. So it was nice and lively and fun. And then all of a sudden, you hear a news that your grandfather, which is somebody that's very close to my heart. I think he was the first father figure I've known in my life, because we didn't really live with our dad. So to have known or to have learned that my grandfather was sick with colon cancer at the time, and we were told that, and we were talking about this with my grandmother this afternoon. I think he had 6 weeks to 5 months to live. As he was told at the time. So it was very sad, because I was just a kid, and this was my dad.
And you were very close to him.
And we were very close. I had separation anxiety. Every time they left, even if they just went to Iloilo, which is only a few minutes away by pump boat. It was a hard thing for me. But yes, he had colon cancer, and we were told that he wasn't going to live very long. But it's God's healing. It's God's power that defies science. Science can say that you have this long to live, or this short of time to live, and God can alter things for you. So my grandfather beat cancer, and he lives to this day, and he takes care of. This was back in the late 1980s, and right now he takes care of my grandmother, who has breast cancer. So it's yes, a different turn of events. But before my grandmother, I lost an auntie to ovarian cancer. I think that's one of the main reasons why I moved to New York from California, because I wanted to take care of her. It's different when you give that personal touch to a family who's going through cancer. And I can resonate with what Kuya Joel is saying about music and healing. I remember going to Calvary Hospital and also Calvary Hospice when she was, she was terminally ill at the time. And I was taking care of her. I cooked for her. I cleaned her. And I sang a lot for her. And I remember si Auntie June, she would always encourage me to sing Pass It On. It only takes a spark to get a fire going. It's about sharing God's goodness and sharing God's word to others, and letting them know of God's influence in your life. So I kept singing this song every single day I was at the hospital with her. And she would always encourage me to go to room to sing to different patients. So, music and healing are partners, to say the least. And it really makes a big difference to have the presence of music in your life, especially when you're sick or when a loved one is sick.
Okay. Now, John, your questions?
Yeah, I was just I was just asking Dr. Sebag about your brother's a journey towards cancer. So being in the medical profession, how were you able to manage also as far as your brother, because you have a attachment to it. So iba kasi pagka doctor of in the medicine and in the field of rehab. So it could be very emotional.
Yeah, it was kind of hard
Sure.
because there's that tendency that you don't want to believe that it's cancer. So you tend to, in a way, you listen to the other expert, the other doctors who's taking care of him, like telling you what's going on, the blood count and everything, the cancer cells is growing. At the same time, when you talk to your family and explaining to them, you don't want to tell them like, yeah, my brother's dying. It was just hard. So you try to tell them like, we'll just keep praying and we're just hoping for a miracle. And you're not gonna, you know, it's hard to be in between the doctors and the family, because they pretty much rely on, I'm in the middle man, like the doctor relying the message to me and conveying it to the family. So it was hard. The journey was kind of hard. Like in sometimes you don't believe what the doctor is saying, that do this, and yeah, it was
That's
when
true.
it struck to your family and your direct the direct effect in your on yourself. It's hard.
Mhm. Joel, how did your career as an inspirational pianist, how did it start?
You know, like back then in 1994, I was doing home health visits back when I was practicing, and I was visiting homes, patients, and there was this one patient that was she was 102 years old, and she would not let anybody go get him and walk to the dining room for meals, even the nurses, or going to the doctor. It's only me who can get these patients to come up and walk. And the reason she's gonna walk and go with me is if I go to the living room and play the piano for her. And that's the only time. So everybody in the family was looking forward to the time when I visit this patient, because she would walk for me to go to the piano and listen to for me to play. And so from that on, the family was asking if I had any recording of my music. I was like, no, I don't. So what I did is I sat down in the studio for 2 hours. I just played all the music that I normally play when I'm with when I'm having people listening to my music. Recorded that, and then everybody that had that copy of the CD, they loved that music. So it brings me to come to realize that my music is it can inspire people, it can uplift, and it gives them that belief that there's a God and can communicate with anything, like the salvation that we have and the blessings that God has given us.
Mhm. Speaking about music, before we continue yung ating interview kay Joel, I hope you don't mind, Joel, if we're gonna play one of your recorded videos sa mga Centino siblings.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I guess they're from the Philippines. Paano mo ba na-discover yung mga bata na to?
Oh yes. One of their video became viral, and one of my American friend actually from here tagged me on it. Like, do you know these guys? I was like, no, I don't. And these kids, like during the pandemic, all they do, they're four siblings. All they did was just singing live and streaming on Facebook. And one of their song, like "What a Day, Glorious Day" song they recorded was became viral, like 30 million in 1 week. And so I called the family and talked to them, like where are they? And so it turned out they were in Antipolo, Rizal, and then so we've been communicating, and now they're trying to come to the US for a visit. So I'll be working on their behalf and to tour them around churches once the pandemic is okay. And so yeah, these kids are very talented.
Okay, so here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Centino siblings.
I'm so glad I'm a part of the family of God. I've been watching the fountain cleansed by His blood. Joy is in Jesus as the crown of His Son. For a part of the family of God.
You will notice we say brothers and sisters round here. It's because we're a family and these folks are so near.
When one has a heartache, we all pilgrimage to the house of the King. No longer it now it comes, a new song I sing. From around in the regions, from the weak to the strong, I'm not worthy to be, but with God I belong. I'm so glad I'm a part of the family of God. I've been washed in the fountain, blessed by His blood. Joy is in Jesus as we travel this road. For a part of the family of God. I'm so glad I'm a part of the family of God. I've been washed in the fountain, blessed by His blood. Joy is in Jesus as we travel this road. For a part of the family of God. For a part of the family of
Wow.
Centennial siblings. Ang galing ano. Sana gumawa din tayo ng choral group para sa ating event sa December 10.
May
And,
TikTok group ka naman na, Josie.
Parang mga voices of mga angels, di ba?
Anong title
Galing.
ng kanta na yon, Joel? Anong title nun?
Family of God.
A family. Naku, wala nang bibili ng ticket pag akong kumanta. Ano, Ed?
Those kids actually
Pag-TikTok ka doon. Kaya yan.
What do you wanna say, Joel?
Yung mga bata po ngayon, they're on nagko-coaching po sila. Yung mayroon akong trainer doon sa sa Manila. So they go once a week. Mayroon silang lessons. Tapos hopefully by next year, ito-tour ko sila. So pupunta diyan sa iyo, of course.
That's nice.
Yan, ha?
Pati ng show sa church.
Nice. Thank you so much for that, Joel. Now, Jan?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, earlier you mentioned about the birthday of our cancer warrior, si Miss Rita Thorne. Ako naman gusto kong batiin ang isa sa ating mga kaibigan whose mom recently died of cancer. That's why she's also a supporter of our cancer care, si Miss Mads Johnson. Also si Dr. Joseph Magtoto. He's also a nurse. But syempre as a medical professional, he would also be supporting our cause. So he's from New York.
Okay. Ed?
Sure. Joel, I know this is a classic question, but I would like to ask from your brother Tommy's favorite classic Filipino Christmas music. What is it, and yours? And what kind of food you miss in terms of the Filipino celebration during Christmas or holiday season. So
normally back home, growing up, we have what we call like yung manaygon, yung caroling, no? So some natin kanta na Bisaya.
Ano yung
Kasadya ni
manaygon?
Takna. Kasadya ni
Yan.
Takna.
there you go. That's classic. That is classic.
That was our favorite song,
Parang Ilonggo din pala.
My favorite food. I would love anything Filipino. Suman, biko,
wow.
binignit. Yun, masarap yun. That's I'm expecting to have that for this Christmas.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Pag pumunta kayo dito sa December 10, during our show, we are going to have a Filipino food truck.
Woo! Excited.
Yes, kaya yung mga attendees natin, ha? Baka naman magluto pa sila ng bibingka para kay Joel.
Bibingka, ensaymada.
Mm-hmm. How about you,
Masarap
Tata?
yung
Yung ano?
yung sabaw na ano, yung ano ba yun? Yung
May nire-request to. Alam mo, nire-request
Choy.
niya yan. Yes. Ay, alam naman.
Nako, wag kayong ganyan kasi malapit na ako mag-decide na magbebenta na lang ako ng food at hindi na ako kakanta. Hindi pwedeng sabay. I used to do that. Ayoko nang gawin yan.
Uh-huh. Pero si Tata, I'm sure marunong yang magluto ng ng lapas batchoy. Ako hindi ako magaling sa lapas batchoy.
wow.
I can make yung pansit molo lang.
Yun.
Talagang looking forward ka Joel sa sa batchoy.
Dapat kung lulutuin ko yan for the 10th, dapat i-freeze ko siya.
Oh,
para
ayan
hindi
na.
siya masira.
Mm-mm.
Wow. Okay,
Wow.
pwede.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Ako, lahat ng minention nyo, gawain ko yan pag Christmas for the Filipino clients. Binignit, biko, mga ganyan.
Mhm.
Naku,
Ikaw ba pag nagluluto ka, kumakanta ka?
yes, hindi pwedeng hindi.
Ano yung kinakanta mo?
Usually, Sarah Brightman.
Ano
I
yun?
don't know, nasanay lang ako. Para siyang,
anong kanta yun? Anong kanta? Sample.
different kasi konte, partiho. Okay, Joel, Sarah Brightman, right? She's classical, pero medyo, naman, not too heavy. Medyo crossover. Or Broadway songs. Kasi, Broadway songs are usually fun to sing. Like yung mga go-to ko pag nagluluto, Tonight, which I actually suggested for me and Alan to do sa show. Sabi ko, Alan, let's do something fun. Let's do Tonight from the West Side Story. And the other one is, what do you call this? Yung from Oklahoma. Yeah. And any song from Oklahoma. Yan yung mga go-to ko na song.
Nice.
Natikman ko na yung natikman ko na yung food ni Tata nung last year that naka-order ako sa kanya ng ube. What's that? Cheese whiz, Tata, and the morcon. It's so good.
Oh yes, the palabo, not the embutido.
Yes, embutido.
Yes,
Yeah.
embutido. That's I think that's my top. Well, the two top sellers sa Filipino dishes, yung palabok at saka embutido.
So
Yes.
after ng event natin, magkakaroon tayo ng plugging and say, please order. Wala lang pahinga si Tata.
Oh my goodness, it's difficult, No, I really used to do that.
I know.
I thought that, kasi I was younger, so parang I was taking my health for granted and binabaliwala ko yung walang tulog. Sa ngayon, hindi na pwede.
Yes.
And sabi ko,
Bawal.
it's either singing or luto. Hindi pwedeng sabay.
Ang tanong ko kay Joel, do you know how to cook?
Oh, yes.
Ano yung specialty mo?
Ang dami. Kaya sabi ng wife ko, wala ka bang alam na lulutuin na specialty mo? Sabi ko, wala kasi lahat specialty ko eh.
Wow, galing.
Hindi lang pang piano ang kamay ni Joel, kundi pang kusina pa.
Yes. Mayroon nga akong I have a coming up program like home music, parang ganon, visiting people's home. Tapos mag-play ako ng piano and cooking at the same time.
Wow.
So coming soon.
O, sige, gawin natin yan pagdating mo dito sa bahay.
Oh, sige.
Hirap
Go.
din yan, dalawang kamay.
Na piano.
Okay, I have a follow-up question. I'm not sure if I asked this Tata and to Joel. Like for you, Tata, who inspired you to be in the music and cooking? And for Joel, who you look up to in terms of the piano? I mean, there's a lot of instruments, right? Musical instrument. Why you been connected on the piano? Besides of other instruments, or do you play other instruments? So that's why. Those are questions that I want to follow up with Tata and Joel.
Tata first.
Yep.
Okay, so my inspiration for music, oh boy, there's a lot. Maria Callas, of course, Pavarotti, just because I listened to him when I was a kid. Sarah Brightman, yung And Sandy Patty,
Yes.
the because of her, that's why I fell in love with How Great Thou Art, and then Via Dolorosa. We shall be, everything she sings, I think I know. But as I mentioned sa previous interview natin, yung natuto ako was because of my yaya mama Feli. She was the one who really taught me and who had the generosity in terms of yung skills niya. She shared those with me. But inspiration, madami. Also from church, the church people have always inspired me to just sing. And yun lang, I wasn't really allowed to listen to anything else but Christian music or classical music growing up. We were really strictly told na pag narinig kang kumanta ng, secular music, no, you're gonna go to hell. No, really, ganun ka-strict talaga ang grandparents ko. So, and of course, I didn't know better. So, I didn't know how to defend myself. So, yeah, I stuck to classical music and religious music. Sa cooking, yun, my yaya mama. And I watched a lot of Julia Child when I was a teenager. She's so good, diba? Also, of course, the Food Network. There wasn't a time in my early 20s when hindi ko pinapanood ang the Food Network. And I just loved experimenting with food. I think a lot of Ilongas really love to cook.
Yes.
And I'm just really domesticated by nature. So,
and not only that, growing up in the island of Guimaras, di ba?
Yes.
We have so many natural resources.
Yes.
Guimaras is well known sa mangga.
Yes,
Tsaka yung
mangoes.
kasoy.
Food.
Yes. One of our topics last night was the Guimaras mangoes. I think it's because of I don't know how true it is, but I've always been told probably because of the lime deposits that we have. Our land has in Guimaras. Ang apog. Anything with apog is good. So yeah, I think that's why we have the sweetest mangoes, diba? Not just in the Philippines, but all over the world. And the cashews, I have a very personal attachment to cashews just because growing up, I would also go with my lolo, yung nagka-cancer. When he was well enough to go to the office, district office, I would go with him. Engineer siya. So pag nasa opisina lang siya, he would ask somebody from the office to tour me sa, it was a different city. It was called Hordan Guimaras. And doon, maraming cashews. So talagang masarap ang cashews ng Guimaras.
Joel, how was life for you growing up in the Philippines? Di ba taga Bukidnon ka, right?
Yes. So,
alam mo,
going
Joel, by the way, no, di ba sa atin sa Pilipinas, yung piano na yan, napakamahal.
Sinasabi mo pa eh.
Ang
So
tanong ko
growing
paano
up,
ka nakakuha ng isang piano?
Oh yeah. Well, yung bata pa kami, we actually don't have piano. So when I was 7 years old, we have a neighbor who has a piano. So I was just like really looking, yung nasisilip ko lang sa bintana ng neighbor namin na mayaman na may piano. So I told my mom, like, I hope we can have a piano so that I can practice soon. So what I did was like nagpa-practice lang ako sa yung singer na makina. Yung wala talagang piano. So yung kamay ko, ginaganon-ganon ko lang doon. So hinahasa ko yung kamay ko doon. So wala talaga akong piano way back. So ang cooking naman, we grew up na nagtutulong ako sa parents namin. They cater yung sa dormitory, yung mga luncheon, mga meals, hinahatid namin. Tapos nagbebenta ng mga siopaw, mga ice candy. So literally, yung pagka growing up, nagluluto na talaga kami. We have a restaurant. So exposed na kami noon. But I did not know cooking until yung nandito na ako sa US. Kasi ako na yung magsarili. Dati, pabalot na lang, di ba? Yung mga tira-tira, i-form na lang yung mga shakoy. So, but I didn't know about the mixture. So, dito na lang ako nagtatanong ng mama ko, hey, what's the mixture of suman? Mga ganito. So, yun, na ano ko na siya, na nahasa ko na. But the piano, when I was 7, wala kami piano. And then sa church, mayroong parang piano doon na maliit, or yung accordion pala, dinadala ng missionary. So yun lang exposure until mga 10 na siguro ako, nagkaroon ako ng piano. Saka ako nagpa-practice sa bahay. Yun.
Wow.
Tapos yung lola ko, she would do meditation. Kumakanta na siya 3 o'clock in the morning. Nagpa-piano siya. Naririnig ko yun from 3 o'clock ha. Pinapiano niya lahat yung mga kanta ng sa hymnal. So, kaya ako, memoryado ko na rin yung mga kanta kasi parang tulog pa ako na mayroon na mayroon na akong music. So, yun talaga yung yung exposure ko sa music din, yung lola ko na namatay na siya. But she was a good person. She does meditation and music every morning. Walang palta yan.
But do you know how to sing?
No.
Humble.
Hindi. yun lang problema ngayon.
Yan ang isang talent na hindi pa na-discover ni Joel. Okay. John?
Akala ko, mga Pilipino, lahat magagaling kumanta. Nakala ko ako lang yun. Finally, meron ako nadinig na umamin din. Pero at least compensated with piano, di ba?
That's right. Okay. Now, bago tayo magpatuloy sa ating interview sa kay Tata Habana and Joel, ito naman we would like to show you. Alam mo, nakaduet niya na yung isa sa mga pinakamagaling na singers sa Pilipinas. Isang Ilonggo rin, kasi manwa namin, si Jose Marichan. Paano kayo nag-meet ni Jose Marichan?
Good question. How did we meet? No, I think, at the time I was handled by a manager. So siya yung nilalakad niya lahat ng shows or mga bookings ko. So I had no grip on the events that I was going to do. And at the time, I think yung show na Please Be Careful with My Heart, sa Philippines, teleserye, which I never got to watch, not even a single episode. Hindi ko pinanood kasi makikinig ka sa mga Pinoy, naiintindihan mo na yung story. So ongoing yun at the time. So I just remembered being asked to sing Please Be Careful with My Heart, and then another song that I sang with a choir, and also yung duet namin. I don't even remember the title. Yung video. And ako naman, I never say na I'm a pop singer, because if I were to be honest with myself, I really don't know how to sing pop. I don't know the technique and all that. So I said, Tito Joe, I'm sorry to decline this, pero I don't know how to sing pop song. I said, I can sing it. I tried it and I can sing it, but I don't know how to give justice to it. And I want to be fair. I said, I think it's best if you ask somebody else to do it. So yun, he asked a younger Filipina to do it. And I think, yun na, parang everything else followed. And he was a gentleman. More than a singer, actually, he's a comedian. Grabe siya magpatawa. He's such a natural.
That's right.
And he's a storyteller, not just on stage with his jokes, but also with his singing. And I think that's the reason why yung music ni Jose Marichan, lives on to this day. Parang walang kamatayan.
Yeah, and he's also a songwriter.
He's a songwriter. And if you listen to the lyrics of his songs, I cannot say na may ganong music pa ngayon, and not music, may ganong lyrics pa ngayon. It's so difficult to come across that kind of writing. Sa ngayon, parang whatever sells, yung paulit-ulit na lines, no? Yung sa kanya, very poetic, very talagang visceral, well thought of, magaling siya.
Okay. So here we go with Tata Habana and Jose Marichan.
One of my major influences, my major musical influences, has been Carlos Jobim, Antonio Carlos Jobim, and also Luis Bonfa. You know, the two brilliant Brazilian composers. And I would like to invite on stage a lady singer who is part of the choir that you will hear later on. Say hello to Miss Kay Habana. Hello, Kay. Kay and I are going to sing a song that I co-wrote with Bobby Basa, a good friend of mine who now lives in California. Dito, you know Bobby Basa. Okay, we co-wrote this, and I call this Like Night and Day. Not Night and Day of Cole Porter, Like Night and Day. I run with the wind, I wish that I could fly. I live for the moment each day. I don't care what people may say. We'll find us a way, the way of the night and day. I sing in the rain, it always brings a tune. Are just right for wishing on the moon. I know that we two worlds apart, but I always follow my heart. To find us a way, the way of the night and day. Seems like a strange romance. Why shouldn't we give it a chance? Because you and I, we're hand in glove. When we touch like night and day. At the dawn and the dusk, there's a magic between us that sparks. This can only be love. The songs that you sing, they always take my heart. I can't help but sing. Oh, you are the one, you are the lady of my song. My songs, I know that the two worlds apart, but I always follow my heart. We'll find us a way, though we are like night and day. Seems like a strange romance. Why shouldn't we give it a chance? Because you and I, we're hand in glove. When we touch like night and day. At the dawn and the dusk, there's a magic between us that's far. This can only be love. Cookies and cream, champagne and caviar. But oh, what a pair, the lovers that we are. I know that we're two worlds apart, but I always follow my heart. We'll find us a way, we are like night and day. We'll find us a way, we are like night and day. Like night and day.
kay Tata Habana. Wow! And again, no, we have 3 minutes left sa ating radio show on the air with FACC. Siguro yung remaining minutes natin, we're going to invite again our viewers, our followers, supporters, donors, and everyone to watch the FACC Christmas Carol Music for a Cause. Pakinggan muna natin si Joel for his invitation. Joel?
Yes, I would like to invite everyone, yung mga kaibigan ko dyan sa Virginia area. In fact, I have few friends traveling from surrounding areas to come. So you need to buy your tickets now because seats are limited kasi maliit lang yung venue. Sabi ko nga kay Josie, dapat 1,000 pala. 1,000 seats. So paunahan na ngayon. But anyway, hopefully, hindi naman tayo magkasikip-sikip and we have enough chairs for everyone. Pag magkahirap-hirapan, di magdalawang show tayo, Josie, di ba?
Dalawang ano yan, hanggang alauna tayo ng umaga. Ano? Gusto nyo? Okay.
Kira matibay.
Oh. Ayan na naman. And we are looking forward to seeing you, Joel, dito sa Washington, D.C.
Same here.
Okay. And of course, kay Tata.
Yes, so yes, I'd like to invite my friends and family in the DMV area to come see the show. I can't memorize the address. I think we're going to show that on screen, or we're going to tell them, or we're going to tell the listeners. So yes, do come. You'll be helping a wonderful cause, and this show is for 3 cancer patients from the Philippines and in the US, and tickets are only for $20, so it's very reasonable. But of course, we encourage everyone to donate and donate more because after all, that is the spirit of Christmas. It's to give, and as they say, to whom much is given, much more is required. And after the pandemic, we know to ourselves that we've overcome a lot. We've been through a lot, and yet we've overcome a lot as well. And we have these blessings to enjoy. So I encourage everyone to share their blessings and to support the Filipino American Cancer Care in their fight against cancer.
And you know what? This is really a good thing, no? Yung ginagawa ni Joel, ni Alan Palacios dyan, and ni Tata Habana. They're sharing their talent para lang makapag-raise ng funds sa ating mga cancer beneficiaries. And lastly, Jan, your message. We have 30 seconds.
Yeah, so thank you so much for gracing our show. And of course, we will see you on December 10th. And of course, we also look forward to the festive Filipino treats. The healing food, diba?
Healing food.
Sir Ed?
And then
We're also gonna sell a parole kit. Since you guys are gonna, be able to bring it, so you guys can bring it home, make it as a family event, make that parole kit. So really, again, we thank you for your opportunity to be a partner with us. And Josie, again, thank you for a wonderful show tonight as well. So thank you, and look forward to seeing everybody on December 10th.
yes, thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
everyone, for being with us tonight dito po sa PHLV Radio on the air with FACC. See you again next Friday. Bye!
Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much.